Changes
Hands
angle
from
there.
Nathan,
Nice,
big
nice
left
kick.
He comes Jordan
Jordy come back with those hands again.
Oh, your boys are back again?
Hello.
Yeah, this is a different setting.
Yes.
We used to-
We mix it up here and
Well,
there.
that's it. We're actually going back to what we originally had. No mics. Just random setting somewhere. Just how it worked out to be today.
Yeah, because we just check in regardless.
Oh,
The
that's it.
circumstances aren't always going to be perfect.
That's all right. Hopefully it sounds a bit better if we touch it up a little bit from there. But yeah, that's all right. You listen. You're here for the content and the banter.
We'll get into Siam. I have a shout out to start with that we didn't discuss.
Okay.
I went to see our friend Owen at Warriors of the Moncon's gym last week. It's sick.
Yeah. So I've seen pictures of it like in the backyard.
Yeah, it's so dope. Like full Thai style gym.
Mhm.
But like he's got a full ring out there.
Yeah.
Full elevated ring, custom Warriors of the Moncon canvas.
Mhm.
Bags, a little
Just
bit of
decked out.
equipment. Yeah, so dope.
Chickens.
Yeah, chickens running around. It's really, really sick. I'm going to spend a little bit more time there.
Mhm.
I got a little bit of a look at. He was at Siam Sydney on the weekend and Rebellion the weekend before. I was having a look. Dude's a perfectionist. Like I'm looking at how much time he spends like trawling through slow-mo to find the moments from the show. He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I was having a little preview at some of the stuff that's coming. Dude works really hard. Yeah, for Muay Thai.
Well, he was, like we were talking about that, but he was there from the juniors all the way to the end. That's a
Yeah.
big ass day.
Yeah, he loves Muay Thai.
Mhm.
Got some really sweet new kit coming out as well.
Mhm.
Gift cards are available.
Is it
if you want.
Christmas?
Yeah, if you got a someone who loves Muay Thai in your life at Christmas time, that's a good gift.
That's it.
So yeah, a really, really cool set. It's got a sauna there as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, really nice. Lot
I
of
think
landing.
that
Yeah.
have to get amongst there.
Yeah, really, really cool. So thank you for having me.
Cool.
If you're not following Warriors of the Moncon on Instagram, some of the Siam to Sydney highlights already that
Yes.
have come out.
Yeah. No,
Not many can do it like he can.
that's it. Follow here.
Are we doing this?
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah. I know some people appreciate that. So that's all right.
Most do, I
That's
assume.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a little bit of effort that goes a long way. All right, so yeah, this is our breakdown, our review of Siam to Sydney that happened past weekend. From there, tell you what though, like we had a bunch of rain coming beforehand, and then Sydney turned it up.
How
that
good
day.
was that?
Had to really put on that sunscreen, eh?
Man, I was so good. I brought the SPF 50 with me, of course. Because like I didn't know where I was sitting to commentate. But, like any time that I need to be outside for any stretch of time, SPF 50. But I took my commentary position, which ended. Even Andy didn't really know where I was going to be. Depended where the live stream guys could set their equipment. I was down the back, but like in the beating sun. Like
I saw you hanging out. Go, oh man, that's not a good place to be for him.
I wasn't even under like any shade whatsoever. So I lathered up in the SPF 50, and then I saw people walking around desperately like, "Does anyone have any sunscreen?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah, yeah, man, there would have been some people cooked on that day.
Yeah, that whole bottle went.
Mm-hmm.
Should have brought more and charged for it.
That's it. It's like the festivals, so it's like charge per squirt.
Next time, Andrew, if you go outside again for a festival style show, this is free business advice. You don't have to worry about it. Just get a big bottle of SPF 50 and charge people to use it.
Yeah. It's like in the bars, you know, the shot glasses. Like,
yeah.
You get so much, you get there. You go. That'll be.
No, just you can put your hand out and you get two pumps. Yeah.
Yeah, you might get lucky. You might get extra.
Yeah. So that's free consulting. You can just keep that. I want to support the enterprise.
Yes. So yeah, it ended up being a really big day. We'll start from the top from there. So like it's had the juniors, which is like probably we had like a bit of a soft juniors one at Marsing's gym, and came around this time that signed to Sydney because it's at PTJ gym. The outside ring was all the adults, where all the main card stuff happening was there, and inside we did the kids, and it ended up being a really cool day. Like had 18 or so matches there. All the parents were pretty cool as well. There was none of those like the old sports dad, get on Billy. There was none of that.
I love the kids. It's so fun.
Yeah, they had a good crack though as well.
It's so good. I love it.
And but yeah, it was cool because it's something that Andrew Palm put like a juniors committee, and I'm a part of that with Lewis Regis and Marsing, and like came together just so good as well. Let me think. It's like there was what I really liked about it was there wasn't too much weirdness. There was a little bit where people going, oh, when's the weigh-ins, and then and then like I don't know the person thing, but there just goes, oh, we ended up going, you know what, like no weigh-ins because like
Mm.
kids about the same. Goes, oh, that means my kid had a drink of water. I'm going, fuck, mate. Okay, and then I was go, yeah, of course he can. And then I get up and go, okay, everyone, officially, there's no weigh-ins because there's some weird shit. There's some people got some funny fucking ideas here. Okay, just a heads up on that. But yeah, but other than that, it was pretty good. And I think that going from there, like, yeah, we'll still do like the weights going forward, but I don't think we'll actually do weigh-ins on the day.
Mm.
That's it.
I mean, like, in a lot of ways, like, you sometimes, like, in that setting with no head contact, padded, like, you'd almost rather a kid just fight a slightly bigger kid with some controlled reffing than cut weight.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want, I mean, like, I don't know why you got, like, your 8-year-old involved in fights and you're putting him in a sauna or whatever, having him cut back his water. I don't know why you would even think to do that.
Yeah.
But you'd rather just not even give people the idea. Just be like, look, same.
Yeah, I think some people probably, like, you know, you try and put enough material out, like, you know, Andrew did such a great job, like, putting out information. Some people just didn't read it, obviously, but like it's not like it's not a full-on fight, you know.
Just a bit of ring time.
That's it, you know. It's just a bit of experience, you know. From there, like you look at like you know a lot of the great guys that like especially came from the UK scene, like you know, Max Biggers, George Manns from there, hundreds of fights, and then they start like that. They kind of junior padded ones from there, which is you just get plenty of experience. But the event itself went really good from that one. Thanks, Kale for helping out, Sarkis for helping out as well, Marcin's wife Chantel for helping out, because like it's pretty much a volunteer event, no one gets paid from it, and like spectators are free as well to watch, and it's just the kids' registration that goes in, and that goes back into MTA, which is like what we're going to plan to do is like you know make kits up. Eventually, if it gets good enough from there, this will help sponsor kids to go to nationals.
Oh, that's cool
as well. So you know, just to remember, like you know. All that money just goes back into the sport itself and helping these youngsters, you know, progress on. Yeah. All right. So going from there, so it went into the development day then, and you on the R&J crew there. It was how many matches did you end up having?
I think it was 15. 15 or 16. Yeah.
Decent day.
Yeah.
And that one, and like it's just. Let me try and think. I just go on my side of things. So I had like young Rowan on there. Like I think
it was good. It
was meant to be the second fight, but they go, "No, can you go up now?" And it's like, and like he's going, "Oh, really? That's okay. This shit happens, man. We're good to go."
Yeah.
And like he versus a kid from VT1, they both had a pretty good match.
Yeah, this was good.
Yeah, and I think like Rowan, like you know, just had that nice composure kind of style. Like didn't get freaked out by anything, and like you know, just like he's just got a really good timing to his style.
The kid's got some pretty good rhythm. Yeah, I liked watching him fight.
And definitely like to see him progress further on from that. And like you know, and I guess the main thing is like when you're the under 18s and like you know the smaller weight categories, it's like the availability of matches that happen as well.
Yeah.
But I think over time that you know, especially with these juniors coming through, I think we'll get a lot more like younger people coming in as well.
How old is he? 16?
16, I think, just 16. Yeah. Also had Jordan on as well. He had lost a close points decision from that. It was a good match from him. Like you know, really like how he trains to that. It's not like how it looks in the ring. Again, this is my first time looking at him at the ring from there. And look, he was composed enough. He was like picking some good stuff, picking some weird, some unorthodox stuff that I haven't really seen before either.
Yeah.
From there, and just getting a little bit of scoring. But like you know, other than that, it was like for a first time out, it was a good result and a positive experience. Was there any other kind of development day stuff that you saw that you noticed that was pretty good?
One in particular was actually one of the best fights of the day for me. You have to excuse me because I don't remember the names. It was a PTJ boy versus an SRG boy. And it started really hard, and then I think the PTJ boy got knocked down like hard in the first round with a high kick, and like you don't see that much in a dev day setting, like a clean knockdown. Like you see him get rattled. I didn't even think. I thought he might have been knocked out. Like you didn't even really see. Like he was flashed. Like he went down hard, but it came to pretty good. I wasn't sure he was going to get up just from watching it on Impact. I was scoring it. Got up, answered the count, and pushed back really well to probably win the next two and push draw. But it was a sick fight. Yeah. I don't know if there's video of the dev days. So that was a really, really good fight. That was one of the best fights of the day.
Is that the one that went to a draw, or did it actually go?
It went to a draw.
Okay.
Went to a draw.
Yeah, I saw a bit of that one. Yeah, that was a good one actually. It was a good stoush.
Yeah, he lost a 10-8 from the they got knocked down pretty hard.
Yeah.
Kind of just recovered from one and then pushed back and probably won the next two.
Hey.
Two really close rounds still, but really good fight. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like that was like a sleeper high. Like it was a big day.
Yeah.
Kind of easy to brush over the development day portion, but that was like a sleeper fight of the day.
It's good. Yeah, development days like has always been pretty like it builds pretty. It's like you get a gem every now and again in those ones.
But like just the style on both guys. In like I think they're both first time. It's unreal.
I think you're seeing less and less spuds coming through.
Yeah.
In the nice way of
But
putting
you get that from like it was SRG and PTJ, so you can kind of expect a base level of Muaythai technique.
Mm-hmm.
But just like the amount of like to be in your first novice fight, and not even really your first fight, and like kind of possess the timing and power to place like a knockdown head kick.
Yeah.
Pretty good place to be.
Yeah, that's it. There's plenty of room to go and develop off that.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, so so after the development day there, then we'll just go into like the main card as well. So we're going to the amateurs. So like we're talking after the fact. There's no videos up at the moment that I know of.
No,
Yeah,
but the live stream's still there.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can still watch the live stream. It's well worth your time.
Yeah.
I haven't gone back to see, so all the stuff I'm talking about is just what I saw, and
Me
like
too.
I didn't really see any of the amateurs. I was just out the back, just like doing the full festival thing inside, just going lying down, going, oh yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
but you were in the commentary booth.
I was.
For that one, so you got to see a lot of these ones.
There was no booth.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. You're just pressure against the fence.
Yeah.
So was there a couple of fights that you want to talk about on the amateur card?
Yeah, let me get my list. Yeah. Who stuck out to me here? Okay. Early in the day. Look, I don't remember everything super vividly. Again, like it's funny when you commentate. Always fun. You think when you commentate a fight that like you kind of come out of it with like a really vivid like moment by moment recollection of the fights, but I almost find like they melt together a little bit more. Like trying to view, process, and articulate the fight all in one go, constantly for hours on end. It kind of means I think it wipes it from your memory quicker. I don't really know how to.
Because you just after you've done one, you just straight.
Maybe because there's no time to like settle and reflect on, and you're not like observing to observe. You're observing to speak and articulate. Like I don't know how to describe. I don't know if other people who commentate have the same thing, but I finished commentating a show and I don't remember anything that happened. I'm not. I remember one and two, but I don't have any detailed recollection of like I get people come up to me when I'm commentating like, what did you think of that score? And a lot of times people who are in the fight, so it's like relax. But also like they come up, what did you think of that score? And I'm like, I really wasn't. Like I was talking to someone earlier this week, and they were like, oh, how did you score that? And you'd have a good idea. You're watching it closely. Yeah, I was commentating it. I definitely wasn't judging it. Like I don't even remember. Like, I couldn't even give you. I don't
think it's really possible to give an accurate score while you're commentating.
And it probably shouldn't be because it's just such a different lens to view a fight through. That if you're trying to score it really finally you'll be commentating poorly. Like that's kind of how I feel with it. Like scoring, like just listening to someone discuss scoring, it can be interesting, but to like the layman is not an entertaining way. That's why like when you watch big fights, like they throw to someone else if they want to talk about scoring, and their job is to just live score. It's different. It doesn't make for super entertaining commentary. But I'll just sort of breeze through what I did see. Opened up with the little girls, Diandra from MUAY versus Deborah Hutama from us at Sichuan. This was a fun one. Like Lynn from MUAY was just pedal to the metal out of the gate. Yeah, she was aggressive, man. I think both first timers just absolutely really looking like even like ref had to get involved to like break him up if there was a dump or something to stop her from like still pressing forward and punching. Like she was going for it. It was a good fight. Like I think quite like an overwhelming sort of pressure from Lynn in the early going, and then Deborah started to get her feet moving through kind of like the middle part of round two, and then started to score a little bit and started bringing it sort of even, but just on sort of just overall impact. Lynn got the win. Good fight for two first time. I don't think there was any development. Like there's a little bit less to pick from in the smaller
Yeah.
weight classes.
going
I don't
there.
think there's been any development day experience on either side either. So it was true first time about him. Yeah, pretty fun one. High activity. Yeah, Lynn just super aggressive.
Like to bring the motor.
Yeah, good one. The second fight, I was very impressed by Jane Koo from PTJ versus Nada Jevdovic, I believe was from Phoenix. Could be wrong, but I believe it was from Phoenix. If not, I apologise. But Jane was really good. I think she'd only had one fight. I commentated that too, I'm pretty sure. And it was a draw. And a whole year ago at the last post-lockdown Siam to Sydney event at PTJ. But like definitely I see this a lot from PTJ, like stylistically way above her experience level, like really nice counter kicking and clinching game, and just like watching her take in the fight, like she fought a girl who was quite a bit taller than her, and quite an awkwardly aggressive style, like coming out and keeping the face and like really pressing forward, like pretty wild. That can kind of offset an early career sort of someone with a more technical style that doesn't have a ton of ring time. But the way that PTJ are a smart corner too, the way they kind of just got to read on it. Like Jane's counter left kick was sweet. Like I really enjoyed this, and it's cool to watch two lesser experienced fighters, and they were having these very intelligent like kick for kick sort of battles. Like Jane really good at getting a tight block and countering back, and then finishing with a tip, which really nice. Just put that seal on and that's like creating that one for one tempo, and then breaking that tempo yourself to get your score and then get rid of your opponent. Really, really nice to watch. I'm excited to see Jane fight again. I like being back at these shows because it's like we didn't have many fights this year. Yeah. And you get to see kind of like the less. What I find really exciting about being at fights is like having a look at who's coming up. Like, say, okay, yeah, I really like with no fights this year. You want to know who to kind of keep an eye on.
Yes.
That's why I'm always grateful for the chance to sit in the commentary booth and really like take in the whole thing, and even the judging and reffing table at the. Like I like grassroots Muay Thai a lot. Like I like being some people only want to watch kind of established pros, which I get it. Like if you're a paying ticket holder, sometimes you're not interested in the amateur stuff. But I really like watching the grassroots guys and how much better they get every fight. Like I really enjoyed. Like I was very impressed here. Jane made a fan out of me. So yeah, really enjoyed that one. Mateo Leparati versus Jackson Ramone. I don't have like a incredible recollection of this one, to be honest. Oh wait, was that one? 63.5. Yeah, not too much to report from my side on that one. Same with the other fight, the next one, to be honest. Arthur McKenna versus Jack Ingram. I think they both had more you guys in them. More you was half this card each.
Well, like, you know, so speaking of more you, stellar day.
Massive day for
Massive
more
day,
you.
that
I
was
think
6 for 6.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
Across,
good, and like, you know, like that's
card.
going, like pretty much across all the cards, was it?
Yeah.
Across there, that's good.
No, that was just across the Hammond for it. They did have some more on the Dev Day as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Massive day for Canberra. So that's like so many corner people. They
Oh, you
brought like
needed.
half a gym, yeah.
But like, you know, it's just funny. It's like you corner people like, you know, Kieran, David Penepe, Max McVicker, Josh Tonner,
Dan Marshall.
It's like it's a pretty star-studded
massive corner, yeah. They did really, really well. They're guys like, it's cool. Again, everyone's sort of been in lockdown, but I know they've been in the kitchen, so to speak.
Yeah.
A lot of new Muay fighters starting to get produced and like all coming through. Like they are proving to be one of the best gyms for producing strong stylists, like first, second, third time out. Like, but it's just like it's a, you know, repetitive kind of, like you produce like a stack of good fighters.
Yeah. And
then any fighters that want to come through are going to be sparring, clinching. Yep. Just observing those fighters that you produce,
good for osmosis.
Yeah, like it's just like it becomes this just talent engine. So yeah, Muay definitely becoming a super facility. Like
that's right.
Up there with, you know, a gym like Riddler's now. I think just for the volume of high quality fighters they're producing, there's not really a lot of other gyms doing that. Yeah, like especially with a lot of these guys were obviously they had the headliner. But outside of that, like a lot of these guys are a little bit newer. And even the guys that have had a few fights, like I know some of the guys will get into. Like they've had 4 or 5 fights, but like they went up to the Allen Bell and the Nationals or something like that. They're not actually super. They've been just kind of banging them out to get some ring time. Not like they've been on the scene for a while. But yeah, really enjoyed all the Muay guys I got to watch. Adam Shotbolt versus Josh Dolpho. I think Adam was from Muay as well. I could be wrong. Dolpho is from Sichuan. This was a good fight. Just a good 3-round scrap. Close one. Like could have really gone either way. Not really too much to sort of report on. Dolpho is like, I think I know him well, better than I know the other guy. So I know like he was 2 fights for 2 wins coming in and had 2 really quick knockouts. Mm-hmm. So I think it was good for him to get tested in a way where he, like I've talked to him in the gym a bit and he is conscious of like, I think he has these early knockouts and he's super like, I know that I can't do that every single time I fight. Mm. And there's a bit of curiosity as to like kind of how it feels getting across the round. So like lost on points here, but I think it was good experience for Josh.
Adam Shotbolt from PTJ.
PTJ, I knew it was one of the two. Yeah, Adam was good. Good technical, and I think maybe just a little bit had his head around, like just strong enough to cope with Josh's aggression, and just some smart point scoring. Because Josh being a knockout fighter, I think a lot of what he was going for when the fight was getting close, they probably had, Adam got the better of him in a couple of clinch exchanges and stuff like that, and then Josh's kind of go-to is to start throwing big knockout head kicks and stuff like that. They're like, Adam's kind of swaying back on a lot. And it's like, probably maybe just some room for Josh to find something a little bit more calculated. To not think, oh, I'm not getting the better of this. It's time to knock my opponent out. Mm-hmm. And a little bit more, how do I start to get some points on the board? Because I think that was probably, it was a close one. I think it was a split points. Not that actually necessarily means it's close, but it was like, both guys went to the cards feeling like they had it, and I think just where kind of the separation point was, again, haven't rewatched it from commentary. I think Josh was just in that position where he needs to learn to let the knockout happen rather than constantly fight for the knockout, and just learn to invest some points before you just start throwing everything like it's to kill.
You can you can pick up points, but at the same time kind of set up to those, to like his bigger shots.
But like it's not a cadence he understands. Like he's had 2 early KOs in his career. It'll be good for him.
Of course.
Like he's just training all the time. So he's back in the gym on Monday trying to fix everything. So yeah, I think a good learning fight. I like watching these fights that have kind of the top couple of gyms in them. Good style match. And Josh had some problems in the lead up. Meant he couldn't really train a lot. So I think like to have a good competitive, get the rounds under him and stuff like that. I think it was a good fight. Good to watch. I was entertained. So moving up the card, Aaron Charter and Caleb Randle. Yeah, again, not too much I could specifically report on this one. I might even just keep moving to the ones that I actually specifically remember. It's not that I don't remember you guys. It's just like there's a lot going on for me.
So if you did a jumping knee knockout or something, remember you?
Well, it's like it's just more so like I don't want to
half remember.
Yeah, I don't want to half report on guys' fights, and there's a lot on, especially you have to kind of save some mental energy for the pros. But Gabrielle De Ramos, of course, worth discussing. A lot of people are quite excited about her. She's doing really well. Had some great fights. She had a big year actually. Given the year that we had, I think she fought 3 times. Had that killer close decision loss against Lucy Deadman. Look, I'm pretty sure that was this year.
Yeah.
That I think was like a good one to really assert her skill level. Like even though she didn't get the win in that fight, that was kind of one of those fights where you're like, all right, you kind of just announce yourself among the top lane. And like she was stepping massively up in experience in that fight, and now has had 2 in a row where she's sort of been able to fight at a bit more of an equal experience level.
It's like had that still a head kick knockout.
Yeah, that was her last one in a Muaythai league. That's kind of got moving more. Yeah, a good one to put herself on the map this year, and it's just a good clinical fight. yeah, really nice high kicks again in this one, and just a beautiful controlling clinch game. Like I thought maybe she got an 8 count in the first round.
Oh yeah.
Off of the slight knees in the clinch, and I thought it was over, to be honest. She was steamrolling, but went through to the points and just clinical. I would describe this as I enjoyed just that understanding of what's working and just keep going back to it. Really nice long knees in the clinch. Long knees. She's not super long girl.
Only so much linking having 47 kilos.
Yeah, but extending those knees out as much. Yeah, really nice style. And like these more you have, from what I can see across this fight, very strong clinching gym. A good knee game. No score of points, but fight to her in the clinch as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Very clinical, technical performance. Again, it's like we were talking about before. I don't know how many girls there are in this weight class.
Well, that's it. It's not filled with like lots of people to actually have a go at.
So I think like a Lucy rematch would probably have to be on the cards. That was a great fight.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, if Gavin, can get even a little bit more experience. Same thing, just kind of really bite into it, start getting more time. Definitely, that rematch should be definitely on the cards in the near future.
But looking at that fight between the two of them, and then both of their form around that fight, it does feel like they're gonna kind of emerge as the top two in that weight class. So yeah, I'm sure they'll fight again. I'll enjoy it. I'm enjoying how Gabrielle's coming along, liking watching her fight.
Right. So it's now onto the pro card.
Yes.
We'll go from there. So to open up the pro card, we have friend of the podcast, Ollie Hale. From VT1.
Nice to see you on Sunday, mate.
Was a good chat. Yeah, it's always good. He also likes to give out betting tips as well.
Really?
Yeah. But like UFC boxing goes, you bet on this one, this one, and this one. It's like.
Are they good?
I don't bet, so I'm not too sure. I'll take your word for it, man. But yeah, all good. But yeah, he's against Luke Taylor from Double Dragon. Now this being Luke's pro debut from that, and this Ollie's pretty experienced in the pro ranks. From there, fought some people like yourself.
Yeah.
And other people like Ramesh. It's been around the traps, and Luke. Yeah, look. It's just just lack of fights in the amateurs from there. But really, when you go into the pros now, I think pro used to be a bigger thing back in the day, opposed to now, which is it's still you got your pros at the top, but now entering in the pros isn't such a big as a deal as it used to be.
No, if you just get your feet under you, development day, nationals, something like that. If you get 5 outings of that kind. I would say now the model is just go to the pros. So amateur, if it makes more sense to get you a fair fight, but I think Luke would be wasting his time if he wasn't in the pros. Probably even could have gone a little bit earlier. And it was an okay fight. It's just kind of, he's got an interesting style. He's very awkward. The big thing that stands out to me when I'm watching this is Luke was so much bigger than Oliver. I just don't know if Ollie's not cutting weight, if he's just if maybe he just doesn't want to cut any weight and he just wants to fight it. That's what Andrew kind of said on the Rebellion podcast in the lead up to this. Ollie just, he fought at 72 the last time he fought, but the difference there was Reese was also, his opponent was also kind of a 60, Reese fought on this card at 66. And the difference there, sorry, to get back on track, was this was not two dudes not cutting weight. Luke's a pretty big guy. He's a naturally sized middleweight.
Yeah, Luke cut to get to this.
Luke's not. Ollie's not a middleweight, and Luke is, and they fought at middleweight. So I don't know. Maybe it's size versus experience thing. I don't know what
they'll tell same size.
But Ollie will fight anyone. But he was a lot smaller in this fight, and I think this was a close fight. I didn't know what the score was going to be at the end, because there was 2 fights where the thing with the first 2 rounds of this fight was not a lot of scoring was done. There's a lot I didn't understand in this fight. To be honest, I was I don't know. I don't know. Not a lot of scoring was done on either side. To be honest, just not a lot, especially the first round. Not a lot happened. There's a lot of throwing, not a lot of anything. I mean, but I think like if you're judging it, there was a couple of moments where like they would clinch up, and like Luke would just kind of just drop his weight, and Ollie would just fall down. He's so much bigger. Like if you ended up like on that sort of body lock, like you know, Ollie's not like doesn't love to clinch, and yeah, Luke just kind of didn't need to like finesse that much to get it to the floor. And like I feel like if you're judging and you watch these like in a 3-rounder especially, like you're probably a bit apprehensive to go for a drawn round.
Yeah.
You're probably be like, all right, the dude got the takedown, and it shows strength and kind of like, and especially those kinds of like, it was just Luke being like, woof. Like it wasn't like they weren't like battling in the clinch. They were just kind of locking up, and Luke was heavier.
It was like in that fight in particular, like this, you can tell straight off the bat, like Ollie was kind of try and play on his inexperience because as soon as they touch gloves, he just like forward.
But he does that every fight.
Does that? But like but yeah, like in this one, like with that clinch one there, like you notice that Ollie puts his foot in between feet a lot. So like there's that little trip there, and like Luke just just dump him over. But like I felt Luke in this fight from here, same thing, just inexperience again, is more so getting torn between a couple of different things. Like wanting to go forward and hurt Ollie a bit more, but historically Ollie's
he's a hard dude to
get hurt. Really.
Like did you see like he gets like you can cut him or whatever, he's not gonna stop coming forward.
I don't know about him ever getting even knocked down. Like
just
that,
the Ramesh fight.
Yeah, just that one. But like in the past, no, he's just always just been there to the end, just trucking forward. And then like also like same thing of like getting torn between that, but also like sliding back and scoring a little bit more, like just cleanly, which he did at some points from there. But yeah, I just kind of felt from this fight from there. That's what I saw after this one. Like I have to go back and watch it again, but that's how I felt. It's just him getting torn between trying to do both at the same time, and just need a clear distinction of when to switch gears. Yeah. With like in the last round, kind of thinking about that more. So it's like we're still here, so I think we just kind of play this out and score a bit, but still was getting torn. Like it's still getting torn like internally, like how to play the game.
To me, it was like when you mentioned play the game, like I was watching. I didn't say this, so I didn't actually. I was talking the whole time. Like I was watching it, and I was just like in round 1, I was just like, bro, you were 4 times the size of him. Keep. You know what I mean? Like Luke's kind of doing this hand control.
There wasn't enough straight line shots.
Just push him around though, like because you can see like when they clinch up, like you have the physicality to just do whatever you want. So it was like, and look, Ollie's game, like you got to like, if you kind of try to like, I don't know, fight him at range, like he's just giving him the fight that he wants. So I was like, with this size difference, really just shoot that, especially for like maybe it's different. I'm trying to fight a little bit more of a 3-round tempo. I get that, and then fair play to Ollie. Like probably just got like. It was pretty close, round 1 and 2, but was probably just on the not. The Luke was getting the sort of exclamation marks, such as just finishing with a dump or taking.
There was only like a couple things within each round that would have separated it.
But the last round, Ollie was pretty game, Like I was watching the last round, like Ollie's starting to swing this, like
it's just like getting the low kicks going.
Yeah, I don't know. Luke got a little tired. Ollie didn't.
As Ollie does anyway.
Yeah, Ollie just put his foot on the gas. He started put some loader on Luke that last round. And look, honestly, it was like one of the judges had this a draw, and I didn't go. I don't have a score. I kind of thought it was probably like it looked like Luke was kind of in control of a lot of 1 and 2, but in control of 2 pretty low scoring rounds. So I'm not sure. And probably the highest scoring round of the fight was 3. Like Ollie hurt Luke a little bit and made him look a bit uncomfortable. So I can understand that. Like when I heard a draw, I wasn't super surprised. Yeah. It looked like Ollie was like, he always talks to me when he's fighting when I'm commentating. And I'm just like, bro, I can't hear you.
Yeah, you have a good 20 meters away from
I was so far away. He looked like he was very surprised by the decision, so I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and score it. I heard Tom Resnikov was not particularly happy with the decision either. But yeah, I don't have a take. I don't know what I was really expecting. I was just talking shit through the commentary. So
yeah, it's fair. I felt we just took the first 2 rounds. Like I said, low score. It wasn't much. I scored it for the dumps. Really, that's what the separator. And the 3rd round, I gave to Ollie. So so that's how I first saw it from there.
Yeah. But I actually got to go backward because I didn't talk about one of the amateur fights.
Oh,
I really
okay.
wanted to talk about.
Sure.
Is it even on here? Because I didn't see it. I really thought. Oh no, it wasn't an amateur fight. That's why I missed it. Sorry, so we'll just keep moving. Darla and Tracy is not too much of a pour. It was a lot like that last fight.
This is a rematch, but it was 3 rounds.
Yeah,
this time.
Kind of a weird situation. Like they fought 5 rounds for the WMC title. Darla got an elbow stoppage in round 5. They rematched the same year. It's Tracy's next fight. Darla had 1 in between.
Yes.
Whereas Tracy's fought Darla back to back, but they fought 5 and then 3. So like just by nature of the lockdown show.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, they just ended up back to back. Again, it's one of those things. It's a weight class where there's not heaps of fighters, and without the availability of interstaters, fair play to them. They both said, "Let's just do it again."
Yeah.
It was pretty similar.
I was at the back. I didn't really see a lot of the pro fights from there, other than my guys, and the last 2 fights.
Yeah, I just think it was like both girls have kind of like a. I don't know how to describe it. Probably like a similar kind of cadence, and in the opposite stance match as it is. I think Tracy, like the last time I watched the 2 of these 2 fight, I was like, Tracy, you got a left kick. We were on commentary though. We.
Yeah,
Yep.
we did a little bit of that.
I definitely commentated that.
I think so Tracy was trying to like really punch her way into all the stuff, but he's running into
and Dallas quite forward as well, and I do think as like a southpaw, when your opponent's going to come forward like that, probably just start thinking about getting that left kick up across and even like a left teep down the middle, just kind of like it. And I think Tracy, like she kept the fight closer this time because that's the game she's playing a little bit more. But I did struggle with the timing. Like there were periods of time where Tracy would slide back, but try to create the opening, and Darla maybe didn't fall for it too much. Like so it a little bit more kind of just ring control to wait for Darla to press forward, then try to just move backwards and hope she follows you. But it was a closer fight, but quite similar to the last time they fought. I thought good one for Darla.
Yeah.
But I really like the next one. Daniel Talker.
Daniel making his pro debut.
Yeah, against Reese Casper. I hadn't seen Daniel before. I think similar situation we talked about. He's done a bit of like the Albel and the nationals and things like that, and just gone to pro. Reese is a tough customer. A big start for your pro career. He's been around the traps.
He's
a
had
little
a
bit.
few pro fights
last couple of years. I've been down to roots and things like that. He's got some experience. Daniel was good, man. Big lad at 66. Big, tall, 66 kilo, but just like knows how to use his frame beautifully as well. He's got some sort of, like he's a big, tall, kind of like does a lot of his work with knees, but not in kind of that conventional kind of like lanky counter fighter kneeing way, like in a lot more of like he throws punches from quite difficult to predict angles. Like he likes a big rear uppercut, and he's just like developed a style where even if he overthrows a little bit, he knows how to just walk his way through the knees and the end, and it's really difficult to deal with. Like look quite like does some good damage when he gets on the inside like that. Quite frustrating to deal with.
I guess it's like when you're the shorter guys just get the uppercuts and these knees. And
because it's like when you're on the outside, kind of on the end of these punches, but like really his end goal is to get in a knee as well. So it's hard if you're Reese. Like the long punches are difficult to deal with, so you crush the space, and then he's there just kind of waiting with these counter knees. I really like the tactic. I like the way that knee fighting game can be forward or counter because it just keeps Daniel geared up to go all the time. Yeah, real ring smart, aggressive when he needs to, even not sort of, still quite calculated, and just good damaging scores. Like I think cut Reese at one point. Put a bit of a hurting on his body.
And I guess that goes into Reese now as well. So like he's on a little bit of a slide, I think, from that one. But like he's always like just an action fighter. Just
good to go. And he's had a couple of learning fights in a row. He's in this the whole time. Just a difficult opponent. Looking forward to seeing him fight again. Just very really has leaned into his frame and what will make it awkward and a real punish to fight.
I tell you what, man, all these 66 kilo guys are fucking massive now. They're coming through. You got Daniel, Lawrence Carter, and that one, and then like Kai as well. But then you got the other end, like you got your Reeses, you got your Darren Chens, It's like, it's like, yeah, it seems to be like, so you're either really tall or you're pretty short.
Yeah.
Working through.
Yeah, there's some big ones that way. Yeah.
It makes an interesting dynamic, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean because you're tall doesn't mean that you're automatically going to win either.
No. Like I think Daniel's a good example of a fighter who really built a style around his frame, and it's hard to do. Take some calculation and leaning into it really well, and he has that good ability to know what's working in a fight, make the necessary additions, but keep hammering away. It's not like you can see the difference between a guy who has the ring craft to be doubling down on what's working, and I think that's what separates guys that have some experience. Is like when you watch early amateurs, they're just throwing stuff, throwing shit at the wall, see what sticks. Like, but you can see when someone's starting to develop their craft, it's when they're leaning into what's working, and that's what I saw here. Yeah, I thought it was really good. Nice, I enjoyed it.
Excellent. All right, so going from there now, we go like the little fellas. Okay, so we had Tuck from SPC and Michael Zelensky from Marsing's gym. From there, and Tuck being one of the two ties to fight in this one, and it seems like he's kind of picking up his own kind of steam. From his last couple.
He's had a couple good runs in a row. He fought my friend Jared earlier in the year on 1774, and like was a tough ass out there, and it looked like I don't know. The first time I saw him fight was against Ibrahim from PTJ on Siam Sydney, and Ibrahim kind of walked over him. Yeah. Maybe that like kind of lit a fire under him a little bit, because his last two he's really been like, obviously Ibby's a tall order for your first fight out, so like it can be difficult to tell what level he's at, but he's been looked really switched on his last two fights. Fought pretty decent guys. This one you look classy, man. Like just a counter kicking clinic. Just not even counter kicking as such. Just like Michael just couldn't get around that kick. Just move.
I didn't see the fights, but every time I looked in the ring, it's like you go, "Oh, that's a pretty barbecued side of ribs you got
turning
there."
Purple, eh? Yeah, and just real incredible ring positioning. Just dumps out of the clinch. Just a class performance. And fair play to Michael. He put it on a little bit. He was still throwing. And landed some good hands. Like in the fourth round, he had a little bit of a comeback salvo. But yeah, Took just didn't really have to get out of second gear. But it was throwing to her. Like it wasn't like wasn't playing with him. It was really grinding his midsection away with those kicks. Yeah, good fight.
Good fight. I don't know. Would there be a potential rematch against Ibby again?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Could be.
Because like 57 kilos, like how many people are like...
Not heaps going on there. I think Ibby's definitely kind of in that upper echelon now. So, maybe. Yeah. I think Ibby, like most of the cool fights for him are probably interstate. But yeah, I'd watch it again. Be interesting to see if, like... That was a turning point, and I think that was his first fight in Australia, so maybe was he taking it super seriously then? I don't know. Sure. Could be interesting.
So you get off the plane while this one's like, it's just a foreigner.
Yeah, maybe. Because, you can't.
And they go, damn, I really slept on that cunt.
I got the bad one.
Alright, so go from there, we go up to the 66 kilo class from there. So we had Petch, the other Thai that was fighting on here from Muay Thai Temple, but did work with Tuck as well at SPC. I was seeing on the Insta stories.
Yeah, and they all had the same support team.
Yeah, they did.
Team Thailand was
the fucking skulls and shit as well. With
we love Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Signs.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Good on it. I like that energy. And then we had the pro debut of Cobra Kai, Lee Jones.
Yeah.
And like, what can you say about this one? It was kind of like one-way traffic, really.
Yeah. I mean, like, I like Kai a lot, so I was looking forward to seeing him fight. This fight went more or less exactly how I thought it was going to go. Mm-hmm. I didn't love it, to be honest. Like, it was a bit, not for any fault of anyone's, it's just sort of like, this fight, like Andrew said when he previewed this card as well, was a bit of a, you've got to, when guys who have a little bit of experience from back in the day in Thailand and they come over, it can be difficult to place them. Petch was like 4 weight classes smaller than Kai.
So he came out with a very firm spare tire.
Yeah, and Kai being a young, hungry kid, did his thing. Cut Petch, put a bit of hurting on him. Thankfully, it was only 3 rounds, so we didn't really wanted to watch much more than that. It's difficult, right? Because Kai is a promising up-and-comer, but this is one of those fights. It's almost like a lose-lose fight, to be honest, because, no one was really expecting anything. I mean, maybe there could have been some big surprise, but but it's probably pretty unlikely.
Yeah, well, it's like one of those ones as well. When you take the fight from there, there wasn't really many options, and
Yeah.
like the dude's been on the shelf for so long
Yeah,
from that one, and like and interstate wasn't an option either.
yeah,
From there, which is kind of interesting because like from here, let's go. Fuck, I thought there'd be some people around. It's like that's why we got out of the amateurs to go to pro, so we can actually get fights. But it didn't seem to be the case. So this one came about. And
Yeah.
it's like look, let's get some practice and just get back in the ring.
better than not fighting at all. And like hopefully some big fights because it's just tricky as well because like guys kind of move through spells of inactivity and then guys that shouldn't really be in the ring with him. That's probably like I don't know. It's what you do in your early fights. Like it's impossible in your early career to be always having neck and neck matchups. It's just not really how it works. So I think the pros will open up more options in that. But yeah, it'll be good to see Kai fight someone that can push him a little bit because I know how good he is.
Yeah.
So that's why I'd rather see someone that can kind of bring that out.
Hopefully someone signs up for 1774 for him. So
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. But that's a good show. You should keep your eye on that show.
Great show. Man, how's that lineup? That's released now, eh?
That's
yeah.
it.
I've been sitting on it for a
Still,
while.
That's all right. I was like, when we get closer to that, we'll do a breakdown of that one as well because that absolutely needs a breakdown.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so let's go into the main card from here, and wow, like both of the co-main and main event from there, kind of like tackling their own things, like in terms of like they both end up being stoppages from there. But we'll talk about the first one. So we had Kim Dongwhan. I think that's it.
Yeah.
From PTJ versus Cruz Briggs from Eastside Muaythai. From that, Kim didn't have a chance from the bat. Like, not in terms of like going into the fight, just from the get go. Cruz was already hurting him. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I believe this fight was at 68 kilos, so a bit of a catch weight. Couldn't help but notice from the weigh-ins, Cruz looks fucking massive.
Yeah.
Like, big, thickened up in the time that they looked in wicked shape. Kim was never a 68 kilo fighter in the heyday of his career. Skillful, absolutely, but a tall order to come away from retirement from it wasn't just a layoff. Kim retired.
Yeah.
A few years ago and was probably more of a 63 kilo guy. So it's hard. Like you got a series of fair play to him for taking this challenge because Cruz is really good. Cruz is one of the best fighters in Australia at the moment. So you got a step up in weight and they looked visibly different in size. Yeah, Cruz rehydrated well, would carry his weight smart. I reckon Kim was probably fighting close to walk around weight. And Cruz was hungry, man. Like he's been 2 years on the shelf.
Yeah, he wanted to come out there and do some really good work.
He was there for a statement, and Kim's had that layoff. Cruz fought well, smart in the sense that he just don't give Kim a chance to settle and get his feet back under him in the ring. Just blasted him, knocked him down first round pretty early. Yeah. A couple of times I didn't think we were going through the first round.
Yeah, I don't think the first round we're gonna make it out. It was a couple of times in the first round actually.
Yeah, and honestly, I was like, when they were going back to the towers, I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to see it go into the second round because
it's like I don't know if you're in the corner coming back after that. It's go, God, do I send you out for the second one? Hard to call.
Especially off the layoff because it's like okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just needed.
But he came in the second. Look, I'll give it to him that he's fucking tough.
Yeah, man.
But no way did he kind of sway back on his side.
Yeah, but he came back out in that second round to win, 100%. And then Cruz was smart. He paced himself well. He didn't
punch himself out.
Yeah, from the it looked like it was teetering on a stoppage at the end of the first round. I noticed Cruz didn't chase. Yeah. He just kind of let those last few seconds go and didn't worry too much about.
That's experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Because then he came out very measured. He didn't run out the gate round two. He was picking his shots, beautiful. And switched the game up. He was punching Kim, and then step up knee. Really started, and you could hear it. I could hear it from where I was. Yeah. It was just driving him into Kim's body, just changing that level, and then I think it was a knee to put him down. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and then Kim just couldn't answer the count. It was just overwhelmed. Fair play to him, tough as, but it was a tall order to come back to, after retiring for a few years and change the environment as well. He's moved to Sydney setup shop coaching at PTJ. A lot of variables at play. You know, you jump right into the very, very top of the heap.
Mm-hmm.
Difficult, but good to see Cruz back on the scene. Yep. Obviously, he has not lost a step at all. Mm-hmm. It looks better than the last time we saw him.
Yeah.
And sets up. You know, we're all hoping for a busy 2022. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so hopefully, gets himself some more ring time. On that one.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
Good performance. And
yeah, it's just solid. Now we're going to the main event.
Yeah.
From this one, and Yolanda Schmidt versus Diandra Martins. From there, and oh my god, I was like, it's been a while since I've been shocked in a fight. Like absolutely, like I had both my hands over my face, kind of like absolutely shocked from this one. But like how about you explain like the initial start of the fight and where it ended up?
Yeah, fuck. I'm still thinking about it, man.
Yeah.
Like it's still plays on my mind. It's fine. Like there's lots of process. Like Yolanda started in very typical Yolanda fashion, and honestly, probably looked like she was starting to make it. Like it's starting to set the tone for a war.
Yeah,
that was kind of going in her favor. You know, like she wasn't gonna start slow. She was getting going with the hands, pressing in, like because of good hands to elbow were. Cut Diandra.
Yep, cut
like
Diandra.
Pretty much right away. So it was like, okay, interesting. Like, it's always question marks when someone's coming back from a long layoff, especially the nature of the layoff that Yolanda had. You know, a debilitating injury, and then some false starts from lockdown and stuff like that. And then so she came out hard at the gate. Wasn't trying to kind of settle too much, going forward with the hands and maybe even fighting for a knockout herself a little bit. Like very aggressive.
Yeah, look, she's looking for it.
And really trying to get on the inside of Diandra's range, just pressing forward, change levels with her punches.
Because Diandra, like same thing, just like we'll usually like to sit back a little
like
bit.
A measured kind of counter fighting style. And then I don't know, I think you could see this was a play, like this is something that they'd worked on when you watch it in like the slow mo. You watch the way that kind of like Diandra sort of just like keeps Yolo at bay, like kind of sways back a little bit from like the incoming hands and sort of lets Yolo throw herself out of position and throws that cross, but almost just like a touching cross, like just to get something across the space and then kicks from the same side over the top. Just
I like Charlie Bob stuff.
Just using her range beautifully, and just touch with the hand, just catches Yolo because she's pressing in with those punches, so sort of comes in aggressively, so sort of over the top of her guard.
Well, you can see with Yolo in the pictures that William Liu took that one. Damn, she was going to do that, catching on the arm, but like it's just like not on the arm. The kick just flew over the glove,
over the top of the glove, wrap around kind of like the upper neck, lower jaw, and it was
just clean. I just like when I was watching because I was behind the barrier, like the far away barriers from the Siam one. I just saw it clean and just basically dead stiff from there.
See it, hear it. You knew the second the kick landed, it was done for, and then like. I don't know. Like it was. I don't know. I feel like the first thing to talk about is just like what an incredible performance by Diandra Martin. And then you think about it as well, Davina Martin the week before. How good are the Martin sisters, man?
Yeah, they just they got something going on there.
Yeah, incredible, and like it can't be understated the magnitude of that victory because we know Diandra's pushing her way to be one of the top. Girls in this show. Yeah, and that's a good argument for the number one spot. Like Yolanda's one of the best Muay Thai fighters. Like I'm always I hate when I hear like I never said on commentary, and if I did it was a mistake. One of our best ever female fighters. Yolanda Schmidt is one of our best fighters ever. Yep. Like there's no need to preface that with female. Like from the level that she's fought at overseas, and just like the level that she rose to in a short amount of time, with her, especially with her Muay Thai Angels tournament win, like she's a world caliber fighter. And Diandra Martin cold clocked her. Yeah, just wiped her out in the first round. And then you think about it, like Yolanda has fought them all, and she went toe to toe with Aman Barlow for 5 rounds. Diandra Martin did her in 2.5 minutes. Yeah, that's an important. Like it needs to be understood, like in context, what that win really is. I think most people get that, but after this one, it was like I don't know. Like I've seen a lot of knockouts, man.
Yeah.
This one fucked me up a little bit.
Yeah, well, like Yolanda was out for a while. Like I said, it felt like a long time.
It felt like a long time.
She was down there. It's like,
being a commentator is like.
Hey, what are you saying? That kind of.
It's not easy.
You're just there in shock yourself, going.
Yeah, because I made like I had just kind of the I don't know natural reaction. I went nuts when the knockout happened, but then when Yolanda stayed down, it's really hard to watch two of your friends fight. It's actually not always like if you watch two of your friends fight each other and they have a wicked war.
Yeah.
It's so sick. Like I love watching my friends just like beat the shit out of each other and shake hands and go home. Like it's cool.
Yeah.
But then like that's the downside of it. Like when you watch, because I'm so happy for Diandra in that moment, but then like it becomes very human after that. Like where you got to just be like, yo, Yolanda's everything.
There's always going to be a loser.
Yeah.
When someone loses like that, it's like
it's difficult. And then it was
jarring.
difficult. And there's just like everyone in the crowd was stunned silent. Like there's just nothing. And I was on commentary, just like, what do you say? Like, you don't need to feel the air there. I was trying to process what I had seen.
But like, probably the biggest relief moment was when Yolanda got up, and no credit to her as well. Like, it's the same thing. Just gave Diandra props.
Incredible, sports person. Excellent ambassador for the sport always. Yolanda, and she was great. And that was a relief. Like, sports, win, lose, doesn't matter. But we don't want to see anyone get badly hurt. No. And then everyone was cool, which is good. And again, like there's a lot of kind of talk. It's hard in Muay Thai, I think, because like it's a sport that is so like the respect side of it is like so ingrained that like people almost don't know how to react when someone's like, because at the end of the day, it's still a brutal game, and that's like it can be hard because everyone wants to kind of embody that very Muay Thai idea of like kind of respect and sportsmanship, and like when you watch someone get flatlined like that, you kind of like, I think people don't really know how to respond, especially she's such a beloved sporting figure. Yeah. Like Yolanda, it's almost like,
yeah, well,
it's a difficult mix of like, but that is at the end of the day, it's the beauty of the game. Like a lot of the things that make it so brutal are also kind of like, it's the beauty, it's the way a single mistake can, this is what at the end of the day, like it's what you train to do, just wipe somebody out like that.
Yeah,
that's how it goes. But it never stops being brutal to observe in person. Like as much as it is just a sport, but it never stops being brutal or someone that especially like you give the context like of Yolanda coming back from this injury finally after so many hurdles and getting stopped like that. It is difficult, but all credit to her. I'm super excited about Diandra. Yeah, excited for her and excited as a fan of Muay Thai to watch her.
It'd be good to see who should be up against next.
It's big fights.
2022 is going to be a big year for a lot of people.
Yeah, huge. So like highest drama day of fights I've been at for a really long time.
So it really lived up.
Yeah, massive day. I loved the outdoor setting. I thought it was sick.
Cool. Yeah, I really liked it as well. But I can see for Andy's from that one, I think he got a fair few grey hairs from this event. So, so I'm going to separate them a little bit more now. Yeah. So, fair enough then. Yeah.
Good on you, Andrew, partner.
Yes, that's it. You're a champion. All right, and that concludes our review of Siam the City. A++. It was good. It was
can't
good
fault it. Big day. Fucking tiring day.
Yeah, you don't have to do that too often. It's like just now we can. Hopefully, with everything how it goes now, we can just spread them out a little.
If I had to corner that day as well, I would be in the hospital.
Yeah. There's only so many places you can be at once, mate.
Yeah. If that would have just been like the last straw.
It would have broke me.
Well, like I remember asking me at one point, like, do you have time to get in the corner? And I was like,
when?
I don't think so.
Like, you got the headset on.
Yeah.
In the corner going.
I wasn't sure the split between like the amateurs on the live stream, and it's like I'm gonna lean towards no for my health.
That's it. All right, so we'll wrap it up from there. Hey, look, we'll try and maybe get a year-end review done if we can at time. Just over the next couple of weekends, I'm just going to be really tied up, so I won't be able to do the usual recording, but we might do this again. But if not, though, really appreciate your support this year and listening to us as always. And I think pretty big year for us.
Big year for us, yeah.
Yeah, like that. thank you. It's all because of you
Thank
guys.
you very much for your support.
Cool. So, like as always, remember, like, subscribe, share the episode, send love, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Peace. Sweet. Yeah.